Hello and welcome to TopFormz. Today we're going to be having a look at reflections and how we can go about recording that. I'm not really going to be dealing with the frequency of your reflections. That's really up to you and how you go about documenting those. But basically TopFormz is just a tool that enables you to really document what your actual reflections are and to track the actions that you actually want to take on those actual reflections, because sometimes what will happen is that we'll basically reflect, for the day, and it's all great and we put it into a little notebook, but ultimately it's on a piece of paper, and that piece of paper doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't really keep us accountable. But TopFormz allows us to actually track the actions that we need to do, and it's easily identifiable when we have something outstanding. So if we click on the reflections section, and to add a new reflection, we're going to click on the plus button, which is exactly the same as any other aspect of TopFormz. And we can just write in here parent input. And it can really be called anything, but that title needs to really be simple and to the point. And we can just document here something. Parent gave gave input to put nappies in bag after care. Okay, so it can really be anything. So what is the outcome? It's child-centered, it's about the parent. So we can have a look at some of the outcomes. And in this case, we're just going to put here parent, and it's probably got to do with supporting their relationships. So we're trying to basically respect a parent's point of views, their cultures and their practices. And so we can just, choose one of those outcomes. And it's really great to link it to outcomes, because especially when you have a review, it can then demonstrate how you are linking your practices back to the national quality standards. Then what I've also got really is a main category, because there can be so many reflections and it's hard sometimes to actually compartmentalize them and to keep a track of what we're really reflecting on in our practice and what we're not really reflecting on. And it's really important to cover a whole bunch of aspects instead of just one little piece. So in this case, we're going to be focusing on the parent input. And in some cases, it might actually basically relate to some children, and in other cases not. So basically TopFormz allows you to incorporate the names of the children and to actually track that, so you can see which children have actually been covered in your reflections and which ones haven't. So in this case, I'm just going to choose Morgan Taylor as the name. If there are other children, we can just add them by clicking on the plus button. Now, is there any action to be taken? In this case, there is an action to be taken. What is it going to be? Placing nappies in bag after care. Okay, and it's really simple, and you can just copy the wording above. Has the action been taken? Well, Mum and Dad informed me today, and I have actually done it at the end of care, so I'm just going to say yes. Do I want to attach any supporting documentation? If you really wanted to, you can take a photo of what you have done, or no, and then just add it into the TopFormz application. And once you've done that, you can just click on save, and what you will notice is that there is your reflection. And when you click into it, it will give you an overview of really what it is, what the main category is, what we're supposed to do, and whether action has actually been taken. And that's it for